You can't hear me, but now you can. All right. Can you see my screen? Yes, you can. Well done, folks. Let's move on to today's crosswords. I hope I'll be here for a while because there's a thunderstorm going on outside, and if the thunder gets louder, if lightings keep striking, I might suddenly disappear due to a blackout, due to electricity going out. But fingers crossed that doesn't happen and we can enjoy a lovely night solving some crosswords just like we did last time. In that fashion, let's talk about the weather. The weather is going to be our first topic. You can see all the different descriptions of words on the right. We can solve them in the downwards direction or a horizontal one. And we will soon begin. Before we start, though, please do tell me how everyone is doing today. Is it a stormy day in Mexico, Serbia, Turkey, and all the other places you're watching from? Or is it rather a nice warm day as you'd expect in summer? I do have to apologize for the absence of my student. I initially announced we would be having another student on here, but Badish called in sick today. He couldn't come due to catching a cold, or perhaps it was something more serious. I can't remember exactly. He said he had a fever and he couldn't be here, but we expect to see him next week. Welcome, Sarah. How's the weather in Italy? Is it stormy like here in Serbia, or is it nicer? Let us know and get ready for this game. Last time you were in the pool and you couldn't actively participate. Now you have to show up and help us solve everything. So I'll say, come over to solve the I'm gonna say, come help us solve crosswords. And a flex emoji. There we go. And let's send one here. Okay, so I've let people know that we are live and we can now get to the work. It's a little bit hot in Mexico. Wow, it's sunny and hot. You are lucky, guys. You are lucky, guys. Definitely not sunny and hot here. It was during the day, and as you know, after a period of prolonged heat, there has to be that stormy day that just suddenly switches the script and flips it and gets it to a new situation. So let's start solving the crosswords. The topic is the weather, and the first word is a prediction about the weather, often on television. Here in Serbia, we have it as a segment alongside our national news. You will have that segment after the news in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. Most often, the primary something, I'm not gonna say its name, the primary is at 8 p.m. So, I mean, the primary news are at 8, and then this part comes after it at around maybe 8:30, something like that. So guys, what is the word? A prediction about the weather. What do we call that? If we talk about those people who are predicting how the weather is going to be, what do we call them? It's the weather something. If you're not sure, we can move on to the second word, of course. maybe it would be easier. The opposite of light rain is a 5-letter rain. What kind of rain is the opposite of light? What is opposite of light in general? It could be dark in another context when talking about the lights or colors, but in this context we are talking about not really the weight. It is an idiomatic expression, it is a collocation, but it does have to do with the weight. So if you could describe a person as a light person, how would you describe a person who is the opposite of that? Forecast. There we go, Magdalena. Excellent. Forecast. For means in advance, in the front. So this is something that we are predicting ahead of time. Excellent job. Let's go straight to number 2. What was the opposite of light in terms of weight? If we describe something as a very light object, an object that weighs 120 kilograms would be described as what? We wouldn't call that object light. We wouldn't call it hard. You'll hear people say that, especially people who are learning English, like this is a hard object, but it wouldn't be the most appropriate description, because the best antonym of light in this case isn't hard. It is another word that consists of 5 letters. And what is that word? Does anybody know? I'll be waiting for you guys to help me. The opposite of light. 5 letters. Maybe we could also do number 4. It could give us 1 letter as a hint for number 2. And that is rain for a short period of time. You also have one in your bathroom. 6 letters. And the 3rd letter is O. Bingo! Good job, Sarah. That's right. Heavy. There we go. So now we have another hint for number 4. It is something with an O and an E. So what do we have in our bathrooms that consists of 6 letters? The 3rd letter is O, the 5th letter is E, and it also refers to some quick rain. The rain that just falls and then ends quickly. We will often associate that with summer rains. We call them summer something. That sort of short rain. Yes, good job. A round of applause for Sarah. You deserve that. You deserve that. Shower. There we go. A round of applause for Magdalena as well. Excellent job. So shower, forecast, and heavy. Those are the 3 words that we were able to uncover so far. Don't forget that the shower could also refer to the actual place where you step in, or the device that you hold, which is the shower head. So when you are showering, the thing that you hold, that water comes out of, is called the shower head, and you step into the shower. But we also use shower to refer to quick rains. So if it rains now and it stops after 5 minutes, that's just a quick summer shower. So far, so good. Number 3, I can't see the sun. The sky is so... I think you will know this. If you knew shower and forecast, I'm sure you'll know this as well. So when you can't see the sun is behind something. What do we call those things in the sky that cover the sun? And specifically, when we describe the sky as such, we will use the ly at the end. So you need to know the name of that object, of that creation in the sky, and just add ly at the end. That's how you will find the correct word for number 3. So this usually happens in autumn, in winter. I think sky is full of those things, and those things bring us the rain. So there are regular things and rainy things. I believe the rainy ones are cumulonimbus. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but it goes along the lines of that. They are the, yes, cloudy, good job. The clouds that bring rain are cumulonimbus. Yeah,
cumulonimbus.
Cumulonimbus. Difficult word to pronounce, but yes, they are clouds associated with extreme weather, known as thunderclouds. So basically, those are the clouds above Serbia right now. They are the clouds covering our sky. And when there are many clouds in the sky, we call that cloudy. Excellent. Number 4, the star closest to our planet. I think they should be easy. It starts with the letter S, and there are 3 letters. Which star is the closest to us? It gives us heat. It provides life to the planet. We couldn't survive without it. And some people ask why we can't go there, but I think those people really need to undergo some examinations, because if you don't understand why it is not possible to go to this star, you are not somebody that should make decisions on their own. That's my honest opinion, but I could be a bit too harsh. But folks, what is it? S, what are the 2 remaining letters, with the first one being S? Sun. That's right. It is the sun, Magdalena. Good job. We have completed this top left part. Shower, sun, forecast, and heavy. Those were the words there. Let's move on to number 5. A strong wind. That is a word I'm not sure you guys are going to know. So if you are not sure, we can move on to number 6. To rain very hard. Maybe that could be easier, even though that is a bit tricky as well. It's not easy. This is an intermediate one, but it is challenging, if we are being honest. If you have any ideas for number 5 and 6, feel free to write them down. If not, though, we can move on to number 7 for now. You can't see very far when it's what? What stops us from seeing in the distance? I could even show you guys the picture. This is what it looks like. This is the Serbian word, maglovito, magla. But what do we call this in English? Does anybody know? I'm also curious to know what you call this in your languages. We know the Serbian one now, maglovito, but what are the Italian and Spanish names? I'd like to know that. In the meantime, let's go back to our screen. What would that be called in English? Do you know? It's not easy, I can tell you that. 7 foggy. Bravo, Magdalena. It is foggy. So this type of weather is called fog. This would be called fog. And if you are describing something, it is foggy. So use foggy as an adjective and use fog as a noun to describe this type of weather. Great job. Number 7, extremely cold. We had that in the lesson with Mauro, I believe. We spoke about the extreme adjectives, and it is a word we also use for our household appliance, where we put items to cool them down, to reduce their temperature. Foggy is what? Neblina. Neblina. Is that how you pronounce it? Neblina? Huh. It sounds too nice for it to be something like foggy. Like Neblina, to me, sounds like a brand of ice cream. I could totally order one Neblina for myself. But that's the beauty of learning new languages. Great, thank you for sharing that, Magdalena. So where would you put your ice cream, Magdalena? If you bought an ice cream and you brought it home, you didn't want to eat it immediately, where would you put it? You would put it in a freezer, and it is freezing. That's right. So when the temperature is really, really low, it is freezing. Great job. Let's reveal number 5 and number 6, so you're not left hanging. Number 4 is going to be gale. Oh, I hate this. Gale. Yes, there we go. So gale is very strong wind. Keep that in mind. I can even write it down in the chat so you guys don't forget that. So gale, very strong wind. Remember the pronunciation, gale. And the second word, number 6, to rain very hard, pour. Pour. So inconvenient. Pour. There we go. So pour. When you pour water, you are transferring it from one container to another. And there is usually a lot of liquid coming out. Like when you pour the beer from the bottle into your glass, you're not going to do it slowly. You're just going to flip the bottle and let that liquid go from one container to another. That's why the heavy, intense rain is called pouring, or more commonly, the way I would call it is a downpour. So downpour, a downpour, 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 very heavy rain. There we go. So we have solved those two, and let us proceed to gales are common in hurricanes. Yes, absolutely. So hurricanes consist of gales, of very strong winds. Fortunately, we don't have any hurricanes here in Serbia, but I know that they cause a lot of trouble in some places of the world, and I believe you mentioned having issues with one in Mexico, so stay safe. The worst that happens here is flooding. So we do have floods occasionally, water coming out of the river onto the streets and surrounding fields. But as far as windy stuff is concerned, we don't have hurricanes or any tsunamis here, thankfully. Number 8, a freezing temperature. 4 letters. I'm not even sure what that could be. Let's try to do number 9, and maybe we could get a hint. A period of hot weather. What could that be? A period of hot weather. 8 letters. The final letter is E, and the fourth letter is T. Now, this is tricky, guys. I'm genuinely not sure. And we can't get any other help. The only help we can get is 8, a freezing temperature, and it's just 4 letters. A freezing temperature. It's not freeze. It's not gonna be cold. This is harder than I thought. We'll need some external help. I hope somebody joins and helps us, because this is not a joke. Be careful on the roads. It's very what? I thought it would be slippery, but what is a 3-letter word that could go here? Genuinely hard. 11, quite cold. Sounds like a South American country. Okay, we know what this is going to be. Magdalena, I think you can tell us number 11, because it is close to your home. Not exactly. Many people assume that Mexico is in South America. It isn't. It is in it is actually North America, right? But it is still closer to you than it is to me or anyone else. Number 8, cold. I mean, it shouldn't be. No, it's not cold, because cold is obviously not something related to freezing specifically. It could be 10 degrees outside, and we would definitely consider that to be cold. However, it is far from being the freezing temperature, the temperature at which water turns from liquid into a solid state. So number 11, we know that. We can leave the most difficult ones for the end. What would be number 11? Magdalena, Sarah, if you're here with us, all the other people watching, jump in to help, because we are struggling. We need help. We can do number 12, the opposite of hot. That's going to be cold. We can apply cold there. There we go. And we got 1 letter as a hint for number 8. What is the word that describes a freezing temperature that ends with the letter O? Could it be the actual number? All right. I think I know what we are talking about here. So they are just asking for the specific temperature at which water freezes. There we go. So let's rephrase the question. These hints help a lot. Yeah, absolutely. These help a lot. It is Chile for number 11, Magdalena. Excellent. So Chile. We do spell the country differently. It is L-E, single L-E. But in terms of pronunciation, they are pronounced the same. Chile and Chile, which is quite cold. So not something that is unbearable, but it is cold to a nice extent. 0, that's right. Excellent, Sarah. Correct. So it is 0. You just wait, and then come when it's most necessary to help. Perfect job. So we have solved number 8, which gave us a lot of trouble, and we successfully solved number 11 thanks to having a person from the Americas on our team. What could be number 9? We have ETE, a period of hot weather. It's 8 letters. I thought it would be drought. Drought refers to that period of time without any rain. But a period of hot weather that's not summer. Nothing comes to my mind. Guys, if you don't know, we shall move on to number 10. It's very what? Okay, so if there is something on the road that causes it to be slippery, makes it very easy for you to fall or to lose control of your vehicle, what would we call such roads? No, I understand when you told me that is about grades. Yeah, of course. That was the key hint. After we saw the letter O, I felt like, okay, it could be 0. So I said it's probably about the specific temperature. But until that point, I was completely lost, just like I am in regards to number 9. Because what the hell could be a period of hot weather with 8 letters? Ice, yes, I see. Not like with the E, but with a Y. So we are describing that as icy. Good job. Heat wave. Could that be the word? Heat. I think you're right. Heat wave. Big W's in the chat. The biggest W's in the chat for Magdalena. What a pull. Honestly, what a pull. There's no way I would have thought of heat waves. It just wasn't in the back of my mind, even though it is completely correct. So a period of hot weather, it is a heat wave. And when there are heat waves, so incredible amounts of heat in a short period of time, people could suffer heat strokes. And heat strokes are those instances of people's health being in danger because of the extreme heat. So heat wave, incredible, really. You deserve those big W's, Magdalena. A great job. Thank you for being on our team. And for the end, we have something rather, I can't call it easy, but I think that we'll handle it more comfortably. So number 13, light rain. We have I as the third letter and L as the penultimate. You can remember the word penultimate. It means second to last in a row, in a sequence. So this is the penultimate letter. D is the penultimate letter in the word cloudy. V is the penultimate letter in the word heavy, so on and so on. So number 13, light rain. What could be the light rain? We had heavy rain, which was pour or downpour. But what could be the light rain? Likewise, we also have very hot. That could also be interesting. Yesterday, I listened the word heat wave. Great. Just a small correction. It's not listen. It would have to be listened to. But in this case, listening to something takes a while. It requires your full attention. So we would rather say, I heard the word heat wave yesterday. So I heard the word heat wave yesterday for the first time. And it came in handy. What a coincidence. Where did you hear it, Magdalena? What was the context? Were you listening to the weather forecast? Or how were you able to acquire that piece of vocabulary? Speaking of the remaining 2 pieces of vocabulary, maybe I could give you some additional hints. So the first letter here is drizzle. Yes, drizzle with a double Z. So double Z-L-E. Drizzle. That is a light rain. So a downpour will be that heavy rain, and drizzle will be the light rain that you just can potentially go out and not even use your umbrella. It may not be necessary. Depends on how tolerant you are to rain. Some people really hate getting any raindrops on themselves. Others don't mind it. And I fall into the second category. So even if I get a bit wet after going out in the rain, I don't mind it. Number 14, very hot. What could be the word there? Very hot, 7 letters. BBC Learning talking about heat wave in Europe. Yeah, we have been suffering from heat waves recently, especially the poor folks in Germany. They're not used to such hot temperatures, so they definitely suffered from heat waves. I hope there weren't many heat strokes as a result of that, but it was no joke. Really. So what could be the word in 7 letters that could mean very hot? Any ideas? The primary word I use for very hot is scorching, but that goes beyond the 7 letters we are given here, so it could be something else. Yep, that's right, Magdalena. Scorching is too long. What about this one? No, it's not gonna be sizzling. What else could mean very hot that is contained within 7 letters? Very hot in 7 letters. I mean, it is sort of meaningful how we have the final word being the most difficult one. Oh, and also number 7. We ruined, but it is there. Freezing. Oh, wow. I think I know what it is. How did my mind miss that one? I might have even mentioned that in my lesson with Mauro. So it is not scorching. It is the word we use when the water reaches the temperature of 100 degrees. Sarah, you are the expert for degrees and temperatures. What happens to water when it reaches the temperature of 100 degrees? If 0 is the freezing point, what is 100 degrees? Burning? Let's try. No, it's not burning because water doesn't burn, but it does something at 100 degrees. What does water do then? What kind of water do we need to make a nice warm cup of coffee? Not burning, but yes to boiling. Yes, boiling. Bravo. Well done, Sarah and Magdalena. You've done it all by yourselves. I think you should be proud. I am definitely proud of you. Are you ready to level up and do the hard level? I think you are ready for it. I think you can handle it. But Let's see. Boil, yes, that's right. To boil, yes, boiling. It is the process of boiling water. You can also boil eggs, and it is the key word here. So when it is very hot outside, you can say it's boiling or it is scorching hot. Both work equally as well. Let's do this, describing people. I think it will be quicker, but still challenging. Let's start immediately with number 1. Hair on a man's face. What do we call this on my face? What is it that I have? In Serbian, it's brada. Brada. I don't know about Italian and Spanish. Please tell me, Sarah and Magdalena, what do we call this in your languages? But first tell me what we call it in English, because that's the word we are searching for. All together, not just this part. This part has another name, but all together, there is one word with 5 letters used to refer to the facial hair of men. Beard, that's right, perfect. Not to be confused with bread. So bread is something else. Breed is also something different. Beard is the correct word. And now tell me the names of this in your languages. So I said it's brada in Serbian. I would like to see what it is in your languages. Barba. Is it really barba? I mean, it's interesting. Barba. Okay, cool. I like it. I guess it is something with B in most languages. I don't know about Spanish. I don't think it's beard in Spanish, right? It has to be something different. But if it's barba too, that would be fun. Barba, the same. There we go. Long live the Latin Brotherhood. So you two can understand each other easily. No problems there. Number 2, how old you are. So when we talk about someone's years of life, we are talking about what? 3 letters. The first letter is A. We could talk about how old somebody was at a specific point. We would say he was able to achieve that at 9. What is the word we would insert in that blank? What would go there? Or when you look at somebody's CV, alongside their name and nationality, you will likely have a number signifying their what? How old they are. What do we call that category? 3 letters. The first letter is A. Age. Bingo. Good job. It is age. And let's do number 6 because we already have one hint. The second letter is E. And it is he is much heavier than he used to be. He's really put on. That's me. That's me. Oh my god, recently I have put on something that's in here and I'm not happy about it. So I'm now trying to reduce my number 6. And what is it that is hidden behind number 6? What do people like me try to reduce? What is too high in people who have 120 kilograms, 150 kilograms sometimes? It is their what? Not their age, but rather they're something else. Thankfully, it is not something you have to put on your CV, unlike your age. Otherwise, many people would be embarrassed to apply to jobs, as many people care a lot about this category. Weight, exactly. Weight. That is something you can put on, meaning increasing your body weight, increasing the number of kilograms you have in your body, increasing the mass. So that is putting on weight, and people who are on a diet are trying to reduce their weight. Let's do number 5 now. Pleasing to the senses. It's a tough one. 10 letters, and it just has T as the second one. Maybe number 12 could be easier. Thin and attractive. No, pardon, that's something else. What's thin and attractive? That's 12. Okay, but down. And we need 12 across. Hair which is not curly at all. Okay, I think we know this one. I'd say both Sarah and Magdalena have this type of hair. Am I right, girls? If I'm not, please correct me. But I think both of you have this type of hair that is not curly at all. So what is it? 8 letters. We don't have any hints, unfortunately, but I think you'll know. I think you'll know it. When something is not curvy, when there are no cavities, there's nothing that obstructs the continuity of it. Wavy would be something between curly and this one. Maybe you are saying that your hair is wavy, which I cannot reject. It is not something that I can disprove, but it is not the correct answer here. So what comes after wavy? If we have the curly hair being super curly and rotated around the axis, if we have wavy being something less curvy and more towards this type of hair, what do we call that type that has 8 letters and that is completely flat without anything else? Sometimes women intentionally try to use some tools, some devices to make their hair that way. Do you know, or do you need some help? Because we could get some help from number 11, for example. Number 11 should be easy. The opposite of good looking. So when somebody is not good looking, when they are not pleasant to see, what would we call them in 4 letters? So the opposite of pretty, the opposite of beautiful, it would be... Oh, wow, Sarah, straight. Bingo. That's right, straight. Excellent job. I could have said the opposite of gay. Maybe that would have solved any doubts. So we use straight in many different contexts. We use it to describe someone's sexuality. We use it to describe the type of hair. But obviously straight could also be the direction. So if you don't turn left or right and you don't go back, you're keeping straight. So let's continue straight to the next one. We said number 11, the opposite of good looking. Not pretty, not beautiful, with the second letter being G. Ugly. Wow, Sarah is on fire. You know that song, na 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 na. I don't know. I don't remember the actual lyrics. Na 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 na. My lover's got no money. Na, na. Oh, I forgot how it goes. Because I always remember the version football fans, used to sing. Like Pavkov's on fire, Mitro's on fire, any other footballer's name is on fire. But right here, right now, Sarah's on fire. 2 correct answers back to back. Great job. Thank you for helping Magdalena and me in this struggle. Let's do number 10. He is more than 2 meters, 4 letters. When we talk about the distance. Also in football, the team that is not playing home is the team that is playing where? What do we call the team that is not home? In football, we will always have the home team and the what kind of team. That is a good hint, I'd say. But in case it doesn't help, just think about the distance. So when we talk about how much time we need to arrive somewhere, we say, oh, it is 5 minutes from my house. Or speaking of the physical distance, it is 50 kilometers from the capital city. What is that word? And if we can't find it without any hints, maybe number 7 could help, but not the across version, the down version. Very good looking and attractive. Number 9. Is it Marcolingo? Not. I had to try it. But jokes aside, what could be the correct answer here? Very good looking and attractive. I mean, 9 letters. It's gotta be either beautiful or handsome, right? Shouldn't be anything else. Let's try it. Nope. Beautiful. Yes, indeed. It was beautiful. Okay, now number 10. Oh, wait a second. Maybe the word I was telling you was not the right word all along, because my idea was away. He's more than 2 meters away, but I forgot we were talking about people and their traits. So we are not talking about how far away the person is. Oh, we are talking about their vertical growth, so to say. So it is not away. When we talk about someone's height, we are going to say, I am 165 centimeters, not high, but I am 165 centimeters. What? With A being the second letter. What could it be? I'll wait for you to tell me. When we ask someone for their height, bingo, tall, that's right. So tall was the correct one at number 10. Excellent. Tall. Number 7, a very common hair and eye color, starting with the letter B. Not in my case. How tall are you, Sarah? How tall are you? Let us know if you're saying not in your case. My height is 185 centimeters, so I am 185 centimeters tall, or 1.85 meters tall. How tall are you, Sarah? And speaking of a common hair and eye color, brown. It is brown. Excellent job, Sarah. Brown. There we go. Should we do number 4? She doesn't eat enough. She is much too... She is much too... Ending with the letter N. What could it be? 160. Okay, that is short. That is short, if we're being honest, but not too bad, you know? I've had students from Japan who were 150 something, 154. So it could be worse. I think that for a woman, it is completely fine. 165. Well, it's already pretty good. I think those 5 centimeters make the difference. If Sarah were 165, she would feel very happy with her height. I think she only misses those 5 centimeters to be completely at peace with her height. Is that right, Sarah? But for number 4, what could be the word? She is much too... ending in letter N. Do you have any ideas? My idea is lean, but it is not correct. She is much too... can be skinny. 162. Oh, okay. So when you talk about the specifics, there are 2 centimeters added. That's how it usually works. You know, people always like to say, "Oh, I'm 183 instead of 181." But we'll take your word for it. Thin. Yes, good job, guys. It is thin. Bravo. Number 3, the opposite of tall. So basically, Sarah, what would be the opposite of that? I don't know. What height do you consider short for women, for example? Because for me, I would say that, you know, everything around 170 is average for women. I don't know the exact average here in Serbia. It varies country by country. But for me personally, if a woman is above 160 centimeters tall, it is fine. I don't see that as being extremely short. Always not in my case. All right, so not in your case. Fair enough. Short, that's right. Excellent. Short. But tell me, what would you consider short when it comes to the height in women? And what about men as well? I think in men, here in Serbia, if you're under 170... I mean, definitely, if you're below 170 centimeters tall, then you are short. Without a doubt. For men. Below 175, like between 170 and 175, I say it is the gray zone. You know, you need to find a short girlfriend to make it work. And then beyond 175, it is rather fine. But I would say here in Serbia, you need to be pretty much around my height to be considered tallish. Like, not even very tall, just slightly above average. And then if you are 1.90 and beyond, then you are seriously tall. In Mexico, the average is 158 centimeters. Really? So you're actually really tall, Magdalena. There is no there is no shortness to be discussed. You are one of the taller ones in Mexico. Wow, that's incredible. I didn't know that. I think the average in Serbia is beyond 170. The average height of a woman in Serbia. 168. Yep, there we go. There we go. So close to 170. with the younger generations growing taller and taller, it is definitely going to be 170. I knew that our people were tall. I can move to Mexico. Yes, you would be considered tall there. You'd be living your dream life. For men, the average is 170. Here in Serbia, I'd say the average is beyond 180. So the average height of a man in Serbia, of a male in Serbia, yeah, 181 to 182. So we are a country with the tallest population in the world. So that's why maybe my personal impressions are a bit biased. That's why when I see somebody who is 170, I immediately consider them short, even if it is more than the average in some countries. However, new generations are taller. Yeah, same as in Serbia. I think it's a global trend. They're eating a lot of processed food, and honestly, they're just eating a lot. 20 years ago and 40 years ago, things were a bit different. I don't think there was as much food available and as many supplements as today. So no wonder that the kids are getting taller and taller. But I don't see it as a bad thing. You know, why not? I wear heels, so it doesn't matter. I don't know how women can wear heels. Honestly, it is incredible. Because keeping balance on those platforms, I don't know how you even manage to do that. And how many centimeters is the hill? Is it heel? You see, sometimes when I'm tired, I start mixing up the vowels. It's not hill. The hill is the place that goes up, that you have to climb, a small mountain basically. And a heel is the back part of your foot, or that platform that women wear on the footwear called high heels. High heels help a lot. They absolutely do. I mean, they just suddenly give you a couple extra centimeters. But I don't know how many centimeters you wear, because I could imagine anything beyond 4 or 5 centimeters could be really crazy. I know there are some high heels with platforms of over 10 centimeters. Do you ever wear those? I hope not, because that would feel like mountain climbing, in my opinion. So, jokes aside, let's move on to number 8. Let's finish this crossword. We can describe light-colored hair as this. What would we describe? With 4 letters and the final letter being R. Do you have any ideas? We could also maybe solve number 9. Hair which is between curly and straight. We already had that. We can enter it. Sarah told us wavy. That was good. So what would be the word then? I wear more than 6 centimeters. Pfft, unbelievable. 6 centimeters. How do you keep your balance, Magdalena? Tell me, how does it work? I can't imagine constantly having my feet like that. It's terrible for your balance. But I admire it, really. I think it is a form of exercise. So props to you. Now number 8 should be easier. We can describe light-colored hair as this. What could it be? Do you have any ideas? If not, we can move on to number 12. Thin and attractive, starting with the letter S. Or maybe number 5, pleasing to the senses. We have 2 T's. It's a really hard one. Nothing comes to my mind. Number 13, another word for body type. The other 13, the down one, he started losing his hair in his 20s. Now he's completely practice and some falls. Well, that's the part of practice. You cannot practice without failing. What matters is you fall and you get back on your feet. So I would say that it is poetic in a way to wear high heels. They are a metaphor for life. So you are always struggling to stay on your feet. Sometimes you fall down, but what truly matters is getting back on your feet. So standing up and continuing to walk on those unstable platforms such as high heels. So number 13 should be easy. When a person loses all their hair, God forbid that happens to me. I'd say my hair is pretty strong, so I shouldn't be going bald. Yes, excellent. Bold. Not to be considered with the other word, which is B-O-L-D, bold. Same pronunciation, but that means brave. The closest synonym would be brave. So the one with O means brave, and one with A means no hair. I can write that down. So bold means brave, and bold means no hair. That's the difference. The word Sarah said sexy for number 12. Well, it makes sense. To be fair, it does make sense. Thin and attractive. But a person could also be thick and attractive and still be sexy. So it is not the only word that could work here. When somebody is thin, specifically, they are also considered slim. So they will be slim. 12 is slim. So we have straight, slim. Number 13, another word for body type. What could that be? What could number 13 be? Do you have any ideas? Another word for body type. Starts with B, has the letter I in the middle. No clue. Number 14, we can describe brown or black hair as this. Okay, maybe I know the word. Especially if it starts with the letter D. Yes, slim was the word there. Good job, Magdalena. But what could be the word here? Another word for body type. I mean, I put D because I feel like number 14 should be dark. Yes, it was dark. So what is number 13? Another word for body type. It's not blind. It's not... Build. Bravo, Magdalena. Yes, I'm sure it's gonna be build. W's in the chat. Excellent. So yes, his build. He has a stocky build, a slim build. Bravo. Yes. So we could use build in that sense. His body type or his build. Good job. Yes, yes. Build the body. Well, bodybuilding is a rather different context. But when we talk about the build of a body, that is the type of the body. So the form, the shape that the body has. Great job, Magdalena. Indeed. Let's finish. We have 4 more. Hair which grows in curves or spirals is... Okay, I think we know what it is. It is curly, because it grows in spirals and curves. It is definitely not straight. Only 3 left. The front part of a haircut just above the eyes. Okay, the American term is bangs, so you will hear Americans calling them bangs, but the British use another term that has the letter E in the second, the letter R. I am tired, guys. I am definitely tired. It has the letter R as the second letter. So what could it be? The front part of a haircut, just above the eyes. Mine are quite short. I can't really say I have any, but imagine I had some hair that would fall down to here. That part would be called what? Yes, curly for the previous one. Indeed, Magdalena. And what would be the name of the hair here? I said bangs in American English, but what is the term in British English? Fringe. Excellent. Fringe. Fringe. Great job, Magdalena. Only 2 left. We can describe light-colored hair as this. So if brown and black were dark, light-colored hair will be... It doesn't come to my mind. I have nothing. Same as number 5, pleasing to the senses, something that is good for your eyes, maybe also for your ears or your nose. It is something. I thought I thought for a moment number 5 could be satisfying, but it would make no sense because A would be the second letter and it's something with a T in the second place. So we're gonna need Magdalena to come through with a revelation because I'm totally stuck. Whaley, we can describe light-colored hair as this. What could it be? Do you have any idea? I have no clue. Jar. Nothing, really. Light-colored hair. Doesn't ring a bell at all. And number 5, pleasing to the senses. No, can't be that. Can't be stunning. Should be ST. 5 is difficult. 8 too. I mean, I can't come up with anything for number 8 either. Pleasing to the senses. Okay, let's think about all the positive words that have T as the second letter. The only one that came to my mind was stunning, but it's obviously not stunning, so it is. And this is a tough nut to crack. Pleasing to senses. Attractive. Wow. Is it the one? Could it be the one? Attractive. Yes, that's right. Huge W's in the chat for Sarah. No way I could have come up with attractive. Oh my god, it was so obvious in front of our eyes. But thank God Sarah came as a savior to help us. Yes, attractive. No, I was definitely not thinking in the direction of attractive. Sarah, wonderful done. Wonderfully done. Really, a great job. Hats off to you. Thank you for coming through. And let's do number 8 all together. What could be number 8? Light colored hair is this? Yes, well-deserved W's in the chat. Oh my god, what could number 8 be? Paw. Again, it's gonna be something not so difficult, something that we all probably know, but it's just such a strange combination of letters. A and R, and something that describes light-colored hair. It's not blonde. That's the strange thing. I'd say blonde, but it is not. Ah, I've come up with one. Fair. There we go. W's in the chat for me. Yes. Fair. It's because this is British English. I need to find some American crosswords. Who the hell uses fair these days? But yes. Fair means bright. Yeah. There we go. We solved it. Thank God I remembered bright. And thank you for coming through at the end, Daria. Daria, I'm sorry that you've arrived at the very end of the stream, but thank you so much for coming through and helping us. It was a pleasure solving this with mutual help. I hope next time we play, more people are gonna join and help us solve this in a shorter time. But it was a great challenge nevertheless, and I really enjoyed solving this with Magdalena, Sarah, and all the other people who joined us later during the stream. So folks, if you have any final questions, please let us know, and if you don't, I will be wishing you a good night in Europe and a good afternoon in the Americas. So please tell me. I'll be waiting because I can see that there is a delay in the stream. I wish they could implement some sort of concept where there would be no delay, so everything I say reaches you instantly. But that is not realistic because broadcast just wouldn't work. W's for Daria, yes, absolutely, well deserved. And for Marco Wright, W's Marco Lingo, thank you so much. W's for you too, Sarah, and you, Magdalena. You carried this stream, and whenever things got tight and difficult, you were there to help. So, once again, while I'm saying this, my question about whether you have any questions or not will reach you. So I'll be waiting for your answers to that. Thank you guys. See you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, folks. Like I said, have a great night in Europe and a great afternoon in the Americas. Thanks for a fun and lovely stream. Come to watch the final of the World Cup tomorrow. I might even have a special guest with me here in the room, so stay tuned.